So I'm trying to record for history my reaction to the GFY heard around the world. This comment that Elon made to Aaron Ross Sorkin to advertisers who attempt to blackmail the platform. And it's just amazing when you look back at how far ad boycotts go as a tool of internet speech coercion. I very vividly remember where I was in 2017 when I came across the D4 lecture series. Let me see if I can remember what D4 stands for. Democratic Defense Against Disinformation and Democracy. I think that's what it stood for. And the D4 series was basically a bunch of these State Department funded NGOs. This was in 2017. I think it was February 2017 is when these started, plotting about how to exploit platforms' reliance on advertiser income to get them to censor political movements, to get platforms to censor opposition political movements to basically Washington uniparty political parties around the world. You know, this was again after they lost the Philippines election and the Brexit referendum and the Trump election. And you know, they're sitting there, and again, I come back to this. This is why I use the term censorship industry. It was supposed to be the inverse of what they referred to as, you know, the fake news industry, or you know, they came up with this idea that you have to, if we want to kill opposition political parties who oppose the foreign policy establishment, it's too late to try to censor them at the story level. You have to censor them at the institution level. And the way to do that is to bankrupt them. And the way to bankrupt them is to kill their ability to monetize eyeballs. Because the whole thing was they were afraid that mainstream media, which has backdoors with intelligence in the defense sector, was getting overtaken by new media, social media, and they were competing. They were able to have these business models to compete with them because they were getting all these eyeballs, and the eyeballs could be monetized through ads. So they came up with the plan to kill the ads. And from the early outset of the censorship industry, I mean, it was all custom made to kill ads. And here we are now in 2023. It's just incredible when you really stop and think about it. I talk a lot about great man theory of history and how, you know, I used to think history was about systems and incentives, you know, the complex tapestry of how a whole society is organized. And frankly, at the end of the day, a lot of it is just one great man doing a great thing that another person wouldn't have done. And it upsets the whole apple cart of all the incentives, all your pretty little, you know, incentives and carrots and sticks and structures and systems. They go all out the window because one person had balls of steel. And I'm looking at this quote from Elon, and it's like everything they've aligned, everything they've lined up, you know, over the past years, the whole society censorship industry model, the government agencies, the private sector mercenary firms, the civil society ad killing institutions, the pumped up media allies and fact checking orgs, and all of them, the confederacy of dunces, all in alignment. That's when you know a genius has appeared, right? Isn't that the line? And to have all that pressure, and for him to just say, GFY. Frankly, if I was an ad boycotting advertising company, and the boot heel was off my neck from Media Matters or the ADL or the Pentagon or the State Department, and I could come up for air to think clearly for a second, I would respect the hell out of someone who told me GFY in that situation, because it's really it's really the most honest form of saying, listen, this is the value that we provide, take it or leave it. And, you know, the challenge now obviously is for X to build itself into a state of independence, which is why I propose that, freedom-loving state governments should be providing premium government services for government agencies. I think that the X marketplace, once the commerce is linked up, to be able to help people buy and sell goods over the internet, but to do it over the X platform and take their little cut, everything that can be done to wean off ads, because the ads are attached to the whole Chamber of Commerce set, which is attached to the foreign policy blob. But obviously no one knows how this is all going to shake out, but it feels like a historic day just to have that statement on record. You can't blackmail. It's not going to work. In this one instance, on this day, if not every other day, but at least on this day, principle, triumphs over profit. So